Morning, Dr. Krogan. This is my report on how to conduct business in Brazil. And for my group, I'm currently working in West Texas where I have no friends or family. I just started this job. I don't know anybody out here, so I really can't find anybody. So what I've done, the only person I can get is I'm FaceTiming my wife, and this is her. She will be observing my group. Introduce yourself.
Bobby Lewing, second grade, Manny Elementary, teacher.
She'll be observing my report and picking up some information on how to conduct business while in Brazil. Now, some of the things we're going to cover today are the political patterns, social customs, housing, clothing, food, things of that nature, your family life, religion and folk beliefs, economic institutions, as well as their value systems. All these things are things you need to be familiar with to properly conduct business without being unintentionally insulting to a group's customs and ways of life. Now, first off, we have some of our political patterns. Some things you want to know about are how to talk politics and social situations, the political power, threats to their political survival, their information sources, and the popular overall opinion of Brazil's political situation within the country itself. Excuse me. Now, talking politics and social situations. This is something you want to be careful with. It's kind of complicated and controversial. You really want to avoid it. Basically, this is what you need to do in most situations. There's three main political parties, however. One's the Workers' Party, Brazil Democratic Party, and the Brazil Social Democracy Party. And for the last few years, the Workers' Party has been a major political power. And some of the threats to their survival are the challenges to their leadership, revolutionary challenges, external threats, and they have a corruption crisis right now that's being fixed by what they call Operation Car Wash. Again, pretty much avoid political conversations. It's best all around. Talk about yourself and your country and stuff. Now, as far as the opinion within the country, some of their information is from news, radio, websites, and the Brazilian Statistical Public Opinion Research Institute. And all of this is pretty much similar to the U.S. We get our information from our news and radio sources. As far as their information sources, their media, they have three popular ones: television, radio, and internet. The most popular in Brazil is television. It's a reliable source for them. 95% of people tend to get their information from there. Now, their social customs. With this, you'll be talking about communication, their family life, festivities, traditions, business interactions, business appearance, and overall general topics to discuss without being offensive to their customs. Conversations are usually informal, relaxed tone, but interruptions there are a little different. It actually shows you're interested in their conversation, unlike in the U.S. where it can be considered rude. It considers you more direct. Eye contact is a huge, huge thing there. Family. Their women do a majority of their household work. Gifts are also expected if you're invited over to home for a meal. That's important to know if you're on a business trip and one of your associates invites you to his house for a meal. Be sure to bring a small gift, something to show you appreciate the time that they invite you. Your greetings. Women do air kisses on the left and right cheek. Men shake hands and schedule meetings a week in advance, but also confirm that meeting a few days before. Expect a little small talk before each actual business conversation. Appearance. Women and men both wear suits. Jeans, like I'm wearing myself, which would be considered business casual in the U.S., are not acceptable there. Jewelry is encouraged, and women are expected to be well manicured and have light makeup on. Now, as far as the general populace, the housing, clothing, and food, rice and beans, and meat, poultry, and fish, and that's just the general foods they prefer. And most Brazil prefer modern clothing, similar to the U.S. Their family life is very important there. It's their foundation of all their social structures. Families tend to be large. Extended family is close. Like a distant cousin would be considered a close family member. And Brazilians respect their elders very much and consider their advice and experience when conducting business and stuff of such nature. Now, the main language there is mostly Portuguese. It's kind of a Romance language belonging to the Indo-European language family. And Brazil is one of the few countries in Latin America that does not actually speak Spanish. So try not to speak Spanish there like you would think you would in most South American countries. Now, some of the things you can expect there as far as the holidays, they do share some similar holidays to us. Some of those being New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, Good Friday, Easter. Some that you might have actually heard of is All Souls Day, and they also share Christmas with us. And they have their own Labor Day and their own Independence Day. Their Independence Day is actually September 7th. Then they have also what they call Republic Day and I believe Torrendous Day. Those are just some of the holidays they celebrate. Some that they share with us. Now, one of the main things you need to know, of course, is their religious beliefs. Most dominant is Roman Catholics, but they do share similar like the U.S. They have Baptist, Methodist, Pentecostals, Anglicans, and Episcopalians. Now, they do have a few Jehovah's Witnesses and a few other small religions, but mostly their dominant ones are similar to ours. Now, when introductions there and greetings, like I said, men, firm handshake, women, kiss, air kiss, don't actually kiss them. And some of the language you can know is hello is Ali or Amli. It's just a general greeting. You could learn some more. It'd be nice to be able to speak their proper language, which is Portuguese again. Now, their economic situations, they have a very diverse economy. They're known for mining and agriculture. They have a very, very robust natural resource country. Also, coffee is their main export. It's one of the largest producers of coffee grounds in the world, or coffee beans. Next time you're at Starbucks, it probably come from Brazil. All right. Now, some of the value systems you need to know is their attitudes towards education and communication. That way you know what these people respect and how they feel about it. The whole point of this is not to be unintentionally offensive while conducting business to better help yourself with success. And so their attitudes towards education, education there is not seen as a key to success. Top social classes have access to any education. Half of the literate population of Latin America live in Brazil. Over 20% of the population is illiterate. So that's a large majority. Now, their attitude towards communication and how you would conduct business towards each other is a high contact society. How message or spoke is very important. So this is why you need to know some of their customs so you're not to be offensive. And it's lots of touching. They're a real hands-on kind of, I guess would be the way to say it, which is why the women are the air kisses, the men's, again, a firm handshake. Jatino there is one of Brazil's most original concepts. It describes their way of life. It's an untranslatable word there, so there you go. You don't really, there's no English word for it. It's Brazil's way of getting to know you, basically. Often alternative and corrupt, but that's how it is. Some of the things you should know if you want to reach out to get information is they do have a U.S. embassy they do have an embassy here. It is in Washington. Their fax number and website and all that is available in the links below. You can also find it through a quick Google. It'd be nice to shoot them an email and possibly get some direct information from them before you travel to Brazil to conduct business. Give you more up-to-date information source as well. Excuse me. And this pretty much concludes my introduction or my film on how to conduct business in Brazil. And that would be it. And as they would say in Portuguese, o film, which is the end. Thank you.